Before we start the video, I would like to thank EA for allowing me early access to this update. I hope you'll all enjoy it as much as I have. Last year I had the immense pleasure of sitting on board alongside Hayden Paddon in the co-driver's seat with the Hyundai I20 Wrc 2021 version, which is now available in EA Sports WRC. So I thought I'd do the obvious and do a direct comparison between the in-game car and what I felt in the real car at Goodwood. So I've chosen a Greek stage with wet weather conditions because it's sort of twisty, technical, and pretty low grip as well. But the Goodwood stage was quite damp on the day and had very low grip, so comparable, let's say. Anyway, into the stage. First thing that I noticed while on board real life was the traction, just absolutely immense traction, and I have a pleasure to say, like every four-wheel drive car, it's got great traction off of the line, so first pointer is very good. The second thing that I noticed was the immense turn-in this car has. You really get the impression that it pivots on the front axle, and you can see it actually in-game, that the axle is really pulling the car along and into the turns. That is realistic to real life. Now, you get the sliding, obviously, that doesn't change, but it means that you can rotate the car into the corner with much more confidence, and that's something that I find lacking even with the Fiesta WRC in this game, which is a bit more pointy. Not necessarily worse, as I go all the way across the line. A good recovery. I was going to talk about that a little bit later, but that immense grip means that you can recover the car quite well into the corners. It gives you a little bit of a margin for error. It's not big, as you saw, but it does mean that you can carry a little bit more confidence. Now, I felt that even while Hayden Paddon was sideways in the Goodwood stage, he still had that little bit of grip left. The sort of differentials giving him that information that he could go a little bit harder or could recover the car if needed. And so it's great to have that feeling in the game as well, to know exactly what to do to recover the car, and I sort of demonstrated that, although wasn't the plan, but there you go. The brakes also very, very nice. I'd say the brakes felt even better in real life, but obviously might have to play with the brake pressures in game to get that same feeling. But yeah, the brakes very stable. It didn't really feel like we were in danger of locking up at some point, but that could be down to Hayden Paddon's driving. Great driver. The next thing is the grip, the aerodynamic grip. It really felt stable on the one fast section of the Goodwood stage, and I'm happy to report, having driven this car in Finland, you get that same feeling with the same stability that you also get at low speed. However, windscreen wipers work a little bit better than in real life than in the game. Although I don't have them configured to manual at the moment on this test version. But yeah, the rotation, sometimes in the corners, a little bit like that. We got the impression, or I got the impression at least, that the grip sort of faded mid-corner to a little bit of understeer, and that's exactly what I feel in the game. So I don't know who sat on board potentially to get the feedback of this car as well as me, but they've done a very good job of conveying that and getting that feeling into the game. And you can feel that the aerodynamic stability increases as the speed increases, and they've done a very good job of keeping it very balanced grip through the corners. So great traction, great braking, great cornering. The suspension, thankfully, is more reliable, unfortunately for Hyundai, than the real-life car. I haven't had any suspension collapsing on me in-game, which is good to know as well. So durability of the car, very, very good. And I'll stop trash-talking the Hyundai because I actually really love this car, so there you go. But I had to mention that as well, because sadly for Thierry Neuville, that did put an end to his championship hopes in 2021. But yeah, it's really, really nice to see a car that's what I'd say a positive driving. A lot of cars tend to be quite understeery, but the default setup as well is brilliant in terms of the handling. And I'm happy to say I've tested it on snow, on gravel, and on tarmac, and it seems to be a very consistent handling model that's very easy to replicate in terms of driving on all surfaces. So you'll get easily up to speed in this car, and I think we'll be pushing the limit very, very early on. So yeah, the only thing lacking is the G-forces, but maybe I'll get some money together for a motion rig. Well, that's my problem, not yours. So yeah, getting to the end of this stage, once again, the Greek stage is really, really nice as well. So I'm just loving the old school feeling of the Greek stages that are a lot more, I'd say, like the Dirt Rally 2 version of Greek stages, which is lovely to see, and a bit more bumpiness as well in the car. So lovely stuff. But yeah, overall this car, big thumbs up in terms of close to reality, big thumbs up in terms of driving experience. I think probably this is going to be a lot of people's favorite car now in the game, just because of how easy it is to pick up and how it's even making me smile through the corners. I've got a huge grin on my face right now just chucking it through this stage. I must admit, the feeling with the wet weather grip, really nice as well. A very treacherous and very low grip. It doesn't seem like it with this car, but that's just how good the differentials are. One thing I would say as well is that in the real life car, I felt the individual tires gripping up. You just got those little moments of the car twitching a little bit in the corner where it found grip or lost grip, and you get that impression through the force feedback on the wheel. So you know, that's an ongoing theme with the game. The force feedback very detailed, at least on my equipment and with my settings, and so that's really good in terms of driving the cars. You know, especially with, for example, the Mark II Escort, which I tested, Mark I Escort, sorry, that I tested earlier. You could drive that car very easily, but that goes to all cars. And coming up past, I think that's the 1 mile board, it's getting to the end of the stage. As you can see, it gets quite flowing as well in this stage, so not only hairpins, which is good. One thing that surprised me as well is the speed of this car. I've done a comparison video versus the Rally 1 Hyundai, and you might want to go and check that out because it's a surprising result, let's put it that way. Anyway, across the line, and there we go for a stage of Rally Greece. I hope that answered most of your questions about the handling of this new car or how it goes. 5 minute 55 basically there. But yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask them down below and I'll do my best to answer. But feel free also to check out the co-driving video that Hyundai kindly gave me after my co-driver experience, and indeed all of the comparison videos, including that one I mentioned of I20 WRC versus I20 Rally 1. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching. See you next time. I hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you did. Bye bye until next time, and massive thanks once again to EA Sports WRC for the opportunity to review the cars and tracks of this DLC.